Hey, we partnered up with a company called Dreamworld to bring you exclusive anime merch that you can't find anywhere else. If you love Demon Slayer, we've got Tanjiro, My Boy Zenitsu, and so much more. Check it out at enterdreamworld.com or click the link in the description. What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, and I have quite the video for you today. This is a huge chapter in Demon Slayer, and we got so much to talk about, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoy these Demon Slayer videos and want to keep them coming, the best thing you can do is smash that like button and share this video. We cover a lot of anime on the channel, and it's always fun to see what the fan base's favorite anime is, and one way we can judge that is by the number of likes. So if Demon Slayer is one of your favorites, be sure to absolutely destroy that like button. Let's see if we can get something epic like over 25,000 likes. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell or you will miss future Demon Slayer reviews. Remember that you can get early access to these Demon Slayer reviews by following AnimeUproar Audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Check out the links in the description. In a previous video, I told you guys that we were the #1 trending anime podcast in Great Britain, and we just had the rest of the world left to conquer. And after that, at one point, we were the #1 trending anime podcast in the world, and that blew me away, so a big thank you for that. Keep in mind, there will be manga spoilers in this video. I will be talking about the latest chapter, chapter 203 after all. You've been warned. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. If you'll remember, in the last chapter, Demon Tanjiro hurt Kanao, who had succeeded in injecting him with the human medicine. We didn't know the state she was in, and we didn't know what would happen to Tanjiro. But we did know that for the first time, we saw a face full of regret on Demon Tanjiro's face. Now we start with an image of Nezuko crying. She continues to beg Tanjiro to go home. She wants them to go home together. This chapter is called The End of the Thread, perhaps pointing to a thread linking them and especially Tanjiro to Muzan. We see Tanjiro and his left eye is crying, while the right side of his face still looks like it did before with the infection. These scenes are more metaphoric than anything, and they show that the real Tanjiro is still trapped inside, while Muzan's cells through Demon Tanjiro are in control outside. Real Tanjiro, trapped in Muzan-like flesh, wants to go home with Nezuko, but he says he's really tired. He begs God to let him go home. He reaches out for Nezuko, determined to go back, and then Muzan's cells try to place doubt in Tanjiro's mind. In a way, through his cells, Muzan still lives in Demon Tanjiro, and he hasn't given up yet. Muzan tells Tanjiro that there's nothing to go back to. Tanjiro's family is dead after all. However, Tanjiro presents a different viewpoint, rather than the pessimistic one Muzan is trying to make him adopt. Tanjiro says that he still has memories of those happy days, and his bond with Nezuko won't disappear. So he wants to go back to be with Nezuko and to take comfort in those happy memories. Muzan tries to trick Tanjiro again. He tells him that Nezuko is dead. If you guys read The Seven Deadly Sins, another series with a Demon King, then you'd recognize the similarities here. Meliodas also had to fight an internal battle with the previous Demon King, and the previous Demon King kept trying to trick him and fill him with doubt. The similarities are striking, especially with this chapter. Tanjiro does not fall for the lie though, and says that Nezuko is alive and calls Muzan and his doubts a liar. Muzan here is really representative of something all of us have. We all have those doubts in our heads that try to force us to adopt a pessimistic or defeatist point of view. However, we don't have to listen to that voice and those doubts that tell us we're not good enough or that we're failures or that there's no point. Like Tanjiro, we can recognize that that voice is a liar. We get to choose whether we adopt the pessimistic beliefs of our inner Muzan or whether we reject them. We see Tanjiro's family members that have passed on helping to push him up. The connections he's formed are helping him combat his Muzan doubts, showing the importance of human connections in life. Even when people die, the connections remain, and those memories can give us motivation and help us move forward even during the darkest times. Muzan tries to dismiss the connections by calling them ghosts and calling their efforts pointless. Muzan tries to get Tanjiro to give up the will to resist in any way he can. He tries to get Tanjiro to take the blame for hurting his comrades. Muzan tells Tanjiro that he's responsible for spilling their blood and that no one wants him to come back to the real world. However, Tanjiro won't give up on getting back to the real world. He knows that as a demon he probably did hurt them, but he wants to go back anyway and apologize. Muzan tells him they won't forgive him even if he apologizes, and that's where we get an awesome line from Tanjiro. He says, and I quote, "That's not for me to decide," end quote. If you have been around for long enough, you know I love philosophy and Stoic philosophy in particular, which has a lot of similarities to Buddhism, which has deeply influenced Demon Slayer. Within Stoicism, the top good is virtue, which means doing the right thing no matter matter what, even if it means death. The Demon Slayers are all stoic in that sense because they are regularly willing to risk their lives in order to do the right thing, which in this case is helping the world by ridding it of Muzan and all of the suffering he's causing. One of the most important principles in Stoicism is that we must always focus on what is in our control rather than on what is not in our control. Here, Muzan is trying to manipulate Tanjiro by suggesting that the opinions of others, something Tanjiro can't control, should determine his behavior. He shouldn't apologize because they won't forgive him. But Tanjiro rejects this line of reasoning. It doesn't matter if they forgive him or not. What's in his control is doing the right thing, and the right thing in this case is apologizing to them. Similarly, it is always within our power to do the right thing, and within Stoicism, that's all you need to be happy, tranquil, and free, which is pretty much the opposite of Muzan, who represents how fear and vice can turn a human into a miserable monster. Keep in mind, Rengoku died with a smile on his face, while Muzan lived for a millennium and never found happiness. When it comes to life, for the Stoics, quality is much more important than quantity. Tanjiro is such a great role model because he doesn't let his fear and the temptation of living forever influence his actions. Muzan wants him to inherit his will, but Tanjiro just wants to go back to his friends. Muzan doesn't give up though. He tries to make Tanjiro feel guilty again by asking, is it okay that he'd shamelessly go back to normal while so many others died? Muzan wants to use the emotion of shame to get Tanjiro to give up on going back to the real world. That's when the medicine really seems to be taking effect, and Tanjiro smells wisteria, a smell he associates with Shinobu, which makes sense since she did help Tamayo to create the medicine. Just like in Seven Deadly Sins, the medicine allows Tanjiro's loved ones to enter into his internal world and help pull him out of his Muzan-induced funk. Muzan is desperately trying to hold on to Tanjiro. He tries to speak to his pride, calling him a superior creature. Think about it. Muzan is pretty much offering Tanjiro ultimate power, immortality, and everything else that could please the ego. But Tanjiro is strong-willed enough, with the help of his friends, to ignore all of these temptations. There are more important things like being true to your principles and being there for other people. Muzan keeps trying to get Tanjiro in a competitive, selfish frame with other humans. He tells Tanjiro that the people who died are wondering why they lost everything and Tanjiro didn't. However, Tanjiro rejects this frame, knowing that people aren't as selfish as Muzan suggests. As Tanjiro points out, they were all selfless, and as a result risked their lives for others because they are people who don't want others to go through the same suffering and sadness that they did. In fact, the ultimate thing that would upset them is if Tanjiro gave up the will to return to the real world after they did so much to help him, including saving his life on multiple occasions. If you think about it logically, you know that what Muzan is saying is BS. Why would Rengoku want Tanjiro dead when he sacrificed himself so that Tanjiro could survive? However, in our darkest moments, we don't always think logically, and that's when it's most important that, like Tanjiro, we stick to our moral compass and choose love over fear. Muzan tells Tanjiro that he was chosen by God to be the perfect creature and begs him, but Tanjiro's friends, their love for him and his love for them, help pull him through. And Muzan is left alone, and his ultimate fear seems like it's going to be realized, the ultimate eradication of his existence, the end of his thread. You can't help but notice how lonely his path and end is. He's left naked and alone in a dark world, while Tanjiro's path has led him to this place where he's surrounded by countless people who love him and are beyond glad to have him back. The contrast between the lonely Muzan panel and the awakened Tanjiro surrounded by friends panel is great and no doubt purposeful. He awakens to Nezuko crying, everyone gets excited, and teary-eyed Inosuke says he's cool with the injuries Tanjiro gave him, but Zenitsu hilariously says he'll make Tanjiro regret hurting his wife. We get a cute moment where Nezuko looks nervous and she's like, "Wife?" You have to respect Zenitsu's humor and confidence. He just never gives up and keeps putting himself out there. Giyu is alive too, and he gets to witness Tanjiro and Nezuko crying and smiling together. Probably one of the most touching panels in the entire series, especially after all that these two have been through. They're finally both human and together, and Muzan seems to be gone for good. Thankfully, as I assumed, Kano is still alive. Tanjiro and Kano look at each other and smile. Another touching moment, especially because Inosuke, with his boar mask, is crying over Tanjiro. It also looks like Kano still has vision in one eye remaining. In my view, Tanjiro and Kano better end up together, especially after we saw Mitsuri and Iguro on the other side in Tanjiro's vision, even though we never saw them crossing over, and they kind of seemed fine when they were talking last time. Not only should the survivors not feel guilty for surviving, they should live life to the fullest now in order to honor those that sacrificed their lives so that they could still be here. Demon Yushiro, who's grown on me over the years, cries too out of happiness. The demon cat is a-okay, I'm glad to inform you. Yushiro kisses Tamayo's pin and cries. It's over, we're told, and chapter 203 is translated here as the end. We are told that the long battle has come to an end, and yet the next issue is called the climax, which is usually the pinnacle of action, and we're left to wonder if this is the end of Demon Slayer, if this was the last fight. It's called here the long battle, but not the final battle, so we'll have to wait and see. Muzan and Tamayo should be gone now, but Yushiro is still alive, suggesting that the demons that were already alive are still running wild across the world. But let me know what you think is gonna happen next. Is the climax just gonna be a nice wrap up of Zenitsu and Nezuko getting married, or are we gonna actually get a new conflict pop up? In my view, we definitely do deserve some winding down time, where everyone can enjoy the victory at least for a bit. To be honest, I am a bit surprised that Demon Tanjiro went back to normal so soon, and we didn't see some crazy demon son breathing, but hey, we did get some truly touching moments and some great philosophy, even if it did feel a bit rushed after so much Demon King hype. The mangaka is even talking about the end now, so we are going to find out sooner or later what the future for this popular manga we love is gonna be. I don't want to say goodbye to these characters yet, but from the start to now, this has been an awesome manga, and I'm deeply grateful that I've gotten to enjoy it with you. And that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed these Demon Slayer videos and want to keep them coming no matter what, the best thing you can do is smash that like button and share this video. And if Demon Slayer is one of your favorite anime that we cover, make sure to really destroy that like button to let the world know your undying love for Demon Slayer. In my last Demon Slayer video, we got 23,000 likes, so let's see if we can get something epic like 25,000 likes this time. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Ring that notification bell or you will miss future Demon Slayer videos, and leave suggestions for what Demon Slayer videos you would like to see next in the comments. Lastly, the YouTube ad rates have significantly dropped recently, so the help and support we're getting from our AnimeUproar patrons is now more important than ever. A very special thank you goes out to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive these YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the legends acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, Baby Ray, and Efren A. And the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Natem, The World, Steelers, The School Bus, Tyson Corino, Acquire Respect, Pate Hefa, Jonathan King, Desi D, and Brandon Aviles. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Team Sparky65, Rohan Kapoor, Cricket XP, Ted No Ted, Jalter, Joe Stanton, Very Gucci, Alicia Actor, Anna Mole69, Jessica Kayla Fawn, Hino Kami and Water, Bonnie Parks, Zodiar12, Rathuan Daora, Emperor Otaku, JCC Waka, The Coach, and according to Google Translate, the Chinese characters for Emperor. Thank you all so much, and I love to see how global this community has become. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord where we talk about anime, life, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.